All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the CJ2K podcast. Today we're going to be talking, as we usually do, a little bit about the NFL in general, and we're going to dive in, obviously, to the Fantasy League. First thing I think we got to talk about, though, is Game 1 of the season.
It probably relatively going to be when you get this podcast, realistically. I mean, it takes forever to upload.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, so they can be seeing it as the game starts,
Tomorrow, I'm gonna go bold and say tomorrow, the first preseason game.
Oh, I would love if it's uploaded tomorrow.
Oh, man, I hope so. But we'll see. It's going to be Bears-Ravens. What are you looking forward to? I know preseason's not very telling. Are we going to see a little bit new? I mean, they don't really show a whole lot, so...
I mean, to be honest, I'm looking forward to, honestly, just watching Trubisky.
So another year at Trubisky.
Maybe even Lamar Jackson. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the current plans
Lamar
are.
would be so fun to watch. He's got to get in the game. I think healthy A-Rob's going to be fun to see.
Lamar Jackson, I think, is right now labeled as 3 on the depth chart. Who's second? I heard that who is it?
Doesn't exist. He's not going to play.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, how do you think they're going to split time? Because I'm guessing Flacco's not playing.
I'm assuming that you're talking Lamar gets a half in him.
Okay, yeah. That'd be cool. I hope so.
And he's going to be electric and fun. I think he has a better arm than people think. I think he could be really talented.
I just want to see him run, to be completely honest.
I'm just excited for football to be back.
I know, dude.
I mean, that is what
I don't care what I see. It could be a
about.
shitty game. I just want to watch it.
I agree. I'm excited. Thursday night, right?
Yeah, Thursday night, Thursday at 5 or something.
And then this is the last couple of days until football's here for a while. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that. College football's coming up, NFL's coming up, and we're going to be full bore on this chat. This thing's going to get crazy. Yeah. And I'm so excited.
I'm pumped, dude. Finally.
Thrilled. However, one question we had was possible division winners. So instead of going just strict division winners, we just wanted to make
we're going to kind of go division by division, see who comes out on top, maybe who comes out on bottom, what happens with the in-between, just to kind of give, by the end of it, we're going to have our own version of a playoff picture, go through that,
So we figured, so we figured we would start out with the best team, Buffalo Bills. Just kidding.
First team on the list that we're looking at, that's why we're starting there.
They might win 3 games this year. The one thing they have going for them is that they have the Dolphins and the Jets in the same division.
Dude, it's a toss-up for me.
And when they have the Dolphins and the Jets in the same division, that is a possibility of one win.
I mean, how about this? Let's not argue over who's last. Let's not argue over who's first, because that's obvious. Let's argue over who's pushing for a wild card spot in that division.
No one.
You don't think anybody's going to be pushing?
I don't.
I mean, think about last year. The Bills were in it up to week 17.
Yeah,
they had
they
a certain situation. Yeah, and so you don't think any of those teams, though, have the ability to do that?
I would not be surprised to see the Patriots lose only 3 games this year and see the rest of them below 500. I would not be surprised. Or I don't know if you recall, the NFC South 2-3 years ago, I want to say the Panthers made the playoffs with a worse than 500 record.
I think you're
I know that happened. It was I was like 3 years ago.
7-8-1 or something like that.
Yeah, and they went from getting like the 10th overall pick in the draft to the 20th because they got swamped in the first round of the draft or in the first round of the playoffs, and that division was terrible. This division's so bad, dude. The Patriots are good. The Patriots could win.
I will say though, if there is going to be a team that, there obviously has to be a team that finishes second. I think it's going to be the Jets. I don't really care about third and fourth.
Yeah. I think it's the defense
that gets them there.
Yeah, I think the Jets' defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't think Darnold's going to do anything crazy. I don't think he's going to be the one getting them there.
A lot of mediocre pieces that I don't think the Dolphins or the Bills have anymore. Just they don't have mediocre pieces. They're just bad.
I agree. No Landry. There's no one. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going with bottom of the barrel being the Bills or Dolphins.
Yeah.
Top of it's definitely the Patriots. Yep. Who I think have to be a sheer favorite in the AFC.
You want to go back and forth between AFC and NFC or go all AFC?
Let's go all AFC.
Okay.
Let's bust it out. We have our playoff bracket.
Let's do it.
All right, so then we're looking at the North.
Yeah.
We got the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers, which I think is now one of the deeper divisions.
I agree.
I think the easy one to say on top is going to be the Steelers.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Now, in the past, it's been easy to say who's on bottom, and I still think this is an easy choice of who's on bottom. But
I do too.
And it's the Bengals.
Oh, really? Okay.
See, that's where we're differing. Yes, I'm high on the Browns, but I don't think the Bengals are good.
See, I could see the Browns maybe shucking out 5-11 or something like that. I could see the Bengals hitting 7-9. Ravens, I have no clue.
5-11
really?
for the Bengals. Browns 7-9, 8-8. And I think the Ravens have such a good defense that they can still muster up an 8-8 year, just like they have been in the last 4 years.
All in all, though, in a different way, you led with this division having more depth. I can see the same thing happening as the AFC East that we just talked about, it being the Steelers and a fight for who's not getting in the playoffs as well. I don't think a wild card team comes out of that.
I don't think a wild card team comes out of that either. However, I could see the Ravens or the Browns pushing for one.
Oh, absolutely. Through the end of the season,
have like 2 or 3 games left, and they're kind of late in the race. They would need a couple teams to lose, sure, but I definitely think that's a pretty easy win spot battle for the Steelers.
Same.
And then we go to the South.
Yeah.
So the next two divisions are much, much more comparable. The South is that division that you could see any of the 4 teams between the Texans, Colts, Jags, and Titans. You could see any one of those 4 teams winning the division. You could see any 4 losing the division. So if we go, this one's going to go a little more in depth. We go to the Texans. We saw what Deshaun Watson could do in the short amount of time he was there.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt's healthy again. Clowney had a great year last year. You put them together on the field again.
Yeah.
I mean, that team is destined to be much better.
Yeah.
Colts, Andrew Luck doesn't miss the playoffs. When healthy or hurt and playing, he doesn't miss the playoffs. He's proven that, a couple years back. It's been a while now, but he is electric when he plays. The Jags have a defense that anyone in the world would want. That defense is just silly loaded.
Yeah.
I think their offense takes a step back. I think they really didn't care about Allen Robinson. I think he was really good. I think Blake Bortles played better than he should because I don't think he's good. I think their O-line got better, but I don't think that bodes well for Leonard Fournette. I know that sounds crazy because I think their receiving depth is worse, so therefore they're going to just lower the box. I could see them taking a step back, but I could also see them taking a big step forward as well. It's a weird situation. And then Tennessee did everything right in the offseason. With their coaching hires, their offensive coordinator hired, they went and got some defensive guys. They drafted, I thought, extremely well. Got 2 guys who can be playmakers right away.
They did.
This division could be so up in the air.
When I look at it, my gut says, the Jags, in my gut says come out on top. Their defense is obviously all you can hope for. I agree that their offense, I would say, took a step back. I would. Maybe stayed the same. I could see them coming out on top just by a hair. I think the Titans did anything and everything that a team looking to advance and do better had to do. When it comes to the Colts and the Texans, though, man, that is a toss-up. You can't argue with Andrew Luck leading the Colts. Ideally, he will be the entire season. And you also can't argue with what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with an entire season.
I got a bold one for you.
You got a bold?
Yeah. I'm going to go Titans win the division.
Okay.
I don't think the Jags offense is good enough. I really don't. I'm not sold. Yeah. I think the Titans did what it took on defense to take a step up. I think Malcolm Butler is hungry because he had to sit up the Super Bowl. Yeah. I think that allows your number 2 to actually play number 2s, not number 1s. I think their linebacking core got a whole lot better. I honestly think Marcus has I know I'm a homer.
Yeah.
But I really do think Marcus has a much, much better year. I think having the floor there, I don't want to pronounce this wrong. I believe that's how it is. I think having a true quarterback's coach as an offensive coordinator who's calling plays and not getting his toe stepped on, I think we see a bigger year from Marcus. But really, I think that dynamic duo on offense is going to be much better. And their O-line's healthier and deeper. I just could see that team, honestly. And I think they're off of a playoff high. Yeah. Playing the Chiefs and Marcus, I think people forget how good Marcus played against the Patriots. Marcus threw for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards. And
he had a fantastic game.
He played extremely well. I think Marcus grew a whole lot in the playoffs. I know he had a bad year, but in those playoffs, man, he was different. From week 15 on, Marcus was a top 10 quarterback in the league last year. He was a top 5 quarterback in the league last year. So I think if he can represent that again throughout this year, I want to be a homer, and I honestly do think the Titans could win that division.
I do too. I'm gonna go Titans get the win.
Yeah.
Jags right behind. They probably get a wild card, and I'm gonna say Colts, Texans, 8-8, 7-9. One of them goes one goes the other.
Well, that's the funny part. I was just gonna say I don't think you're gonna see a team picking in the top 10 in that division.
Really? Okay.
I don't think there's a team picking in the top 10.
I agree. And I think 8-8 and 7-9 gets them there.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be 10 worse teams than that. And
So let's go to the West, which I would argue is going to be an even harder fought battle than the South.
That's the toughest division in the AFC. All around.
I want to agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you. We'll go over. So we got the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. The reason why I'm gonna differ from you.
Well, and by toughest, I mean toughest to dissect. Not toughest. Yeah.
Fair enough. The Broncos out of Case Keenum, they were bad last year. I don't know if Case Keenum is what it takes for them to go
either,
and completely reverse it.
Right.
I think Case Keenum will help. I think they could get back to 500, maybe a game above 500, maybe a game below. I don't think they're as elite as they were a couple years ago. I think times have passed them up slightly, like it happened to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Slightly, it's happened to multiple teams. I think they're still very talented, but I think they're missing key guys who really helped them. They got rid of TJ Ward because they're like, we don't care about him. They got rid of Aqib Talib. We don't care about him. He doesn't help us that much. They keep getting rid of these guys that are kind of important for them.
Yeah.
There's linebackers they've got rid of. There's just things that, like Danny Trevathan, like guys like that, they're like, we'll replace them. Eventually, when you keep saying we'll replace them, you can't always replace them.
Right.
I think they're running game's weak. Yeah. I don't think Worth Freeman's that great. I don't think Devontae Brooks is that great. I think Case Keenum's mediocre at best.
Yeah.
And I think the receiving core is getting older. I just don't see them being elite.
What do you think record? 9-7? Worse?
Worse. I think they're a little below 500. And then you got the Chiefs down there relying on a rookie quarterback. Yeah. Their defense got a little bit better with the trade, but I just don't see that being a playoff team.
I mean,
they're coming off a low. They just lost to the Titans.
I know. I don't disagree with your gut saying that I can't see them as a playoff team, but with what we've been saying, somebody's got to grab that last spot. I could see it being the Chiefs. Just like all these late runs, I could see it being the Chiefs. Not really deserving, but getting in there.
So I think the next team we talk about is my prediction for the Super Bowl on this side.
Really?
I think the Chargers are the team.
I already wrote them down, obviously.
To get to. I think that's the Super Bowl team from the AFC. I think the Chargers have done everything in their power to put it together. Yeah, they lost Jason Verrett last week. Yeah, they lost Hunter Henry a month ago. Right. I don't care. That team is so good and so deep. Their receiving core is deep. Their running back are good. The Eckler kid showed he was good. Yeah. Phillip Rivers is playing well. Their O-line is playing well. And that defense
they have the defense to get them and win a Super Bowl.
They have the best pass rushing duo and arguably the best secondary in all of football.
Because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lie. I think they have a fantastic mix of firepower on offense. I just don't know if they have the defense.
Their linebacking core scares me, but if you think about it, their DNs are probably the best tandem in the NFL, and then their cornerbacks are the deepest. I mean, their corner and their secondary is just loaded. I mean, that team could definitely make it.
Yeah.
And then the last one, new coach. We'll see what he does. But the Raiders had a surprisingly terrible year last year. You got to think that's
I don't mind John Gruden, and I wouldn't hate to see the Raiders do well by proxy of him doing well. But I'm in kind of the same boat with the Broncos. I don't see them doing much better than 8-8.
See, that's my team to grab the last playoff card.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think Amari Cooper had about as bad of a year as you could get.
Okay.
And I think that could be the team that sneaks in and grabs that last spot by beating a little upset at the end of the week. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
What do we got for the
all right, NFC now. NFC East. Oh, man. Okay.
Cowboys,
I'm not going to go too bold. I'm going to say
Redskins.
Eagles. I'm going to say Eagles grab the number one spot easy. 11-5 maybe.
Okay, so you actually think they take a little step back? I mean,
a little step back. I don't think they continue what they did last year. I don't think Carson Wentz is as good as he does last year. I hope he does.
What about the boys, Giants and Redskins?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna go simple and kind of predictable, and I'm gonna say Cowboys get the 2 spot, maybe a 9-7, 10-6 team, and then I'm gonna say the Giants push. They grab the 3 spot, kind of in a tight race with the Redskins. I don't know, maybe 8-8, Redskins 7-9.
So I've been a firm believer that no one in this division wins the division twice. Happened in the last 9 years.
Sure, yeah.
I think this is the year. I've said it in the past that I think it'll happen again. I think the Eagles are too good. They added too much, and I think the Giants are the second team there, and I think the Giants could have a winning record.
Yeah.
They did a lot of bad things this offseason. They did a lot of good things this offseason.
Yeah.
I could see that team, though, kind of meshing back and being okay because they have a lot of stars, a lot of good quality players.
Yeah.
I think Saquon can help Eli Manning. I think a healthy OBJ obviously helps.
Yeah.
I think that team could take a big step forward. So my 2 teams would be, I think the Eagles are definitely in. That one's definitely on the list. And then after that, it's Cowboys, Giants. They're fighting for the wild card. And then we got the North, which I think is the most, like if you're starting a Madden team, this is the division with the most teams that you're like, this would be fun to play with.
Okay, yeah.
Like you got the Bears, Nagy's the new coach. You got Helfrich. We're all Oregon guys. We hate Helfrich, but we kind of love him at the same time. Like he did a lot of good, but he was also the worst head coach we've ever had in a long time. There's a lot of good and bad. And then they have a lot of young offensive guys that we like.
Yeah.
You got the Lions, Matt Stafford slinging to his 2 receivers with no running game. It's always fun. You got the Packers, healthy Aaron
Lions are a
Rodgers.
question mark to me.
Healthy Aaron Rodgers after a terrible year for the Packers where they did great and they drafted multiple defensive backs and defensive guys. That defense actually, I looked on paper, looks a lot better. And then you got the Vikings, which might be, keyword was might be, the most talented all-around football team. If you look at from their offense to their defense to the line to the trenches, that might be the most talented football team.
All right, so tell me who wins the division.
Oh, I got the Vikings all day.
Vikings, really?
The Packers are good, and the Packers are really good.
I mean, you think it's tight? You think it's?
I think it's
a 2-game. You think you think it's a down on week 17?
I think it's done week 16, week 17, and I think you're looking at those two teams I just named, the Packers and Vikings.
Yeah, I don't
one
disagree.
Of them's getting a wild card, and one of them.
Oh, for sure, they're both making the playoffs. I think it's going to be tight to see who wins.
Puts the Vikings over the top. I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy. Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to really prove it this year when he throws for 4,500 yards.
Yeah, I could see it. Go Lions 9-7, Bears 6-10, something like that.
I don't think they're bad. I think the Lions are a 500
I don't think
team,
and I think
the Bears just missed 500, maybe a game under.
Okay, yeah.
What about the South? This is what's considered a very tough division, but I think it's tough by default.
I'm gonna lead with saying the Buccaneers 3-win, maybe 4-win team.
Oh, I think
let's
they're
just
2.
get them at worse.
I don't know if they win a game. They're bad.
So let's just get them out of the way.
So then we got the Falcons, Panthers, Saints. I think it's pretty obvious the Saints are winning that division. No?
No, and no. It just comes down to history for me. The Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints. When it comes to the Falcons and the Saints, they do this flip-flop situation. Nothing changes that makes you anticipate that anything's going to happen.
So you say that, but that's the same thing that happens in the East.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. I don't disagree, but I think the Eagles are just too good.
Okay.
Which is why I'm so confident with that.
So who do you have winning the division? Because I'll tell you right now, it's the Saints all day. Drew Brees has another year or two in him, and that team is too talented.
I'm going to go by defense. Okay, I'll go Saints. I'm going to say Falcons don't make the playoffs, and I'm going to say Panthers finish second.
Oh, I flip-flopped those two. We did the same thing last time when we
argued.
argued.
It's so tough, though, because I can easily see the Saints finishing second in the division and barely getting a wild card.
Yeah.
Despite all the talent
I
on their
think the
team.
Saints win that division. The Falcons take a hard second.
I mean, you just said it. What was it? 2 years ago, Panthers made it as a wild card 7-8-1. Or sorry, wild card, right? Yeah. Like
I know.
Anything can happen in that division.
But clearly, Bucks at bottom, and we both kind of said the Saints at top.
Yeah. So I mean, are we already going with? I mean, we still have a division left, but no, you're confident. You're saying only one team comes out of that, right? In the playoffs.
In the West?
No, in the South. I'm saying.
Yes. Oh no! I think the two are fighting for it.
You think 2 teams do come out of that in the playoffs?
They could. I think it's going to be a battle between the Seahawks, the Falcons, and the Panthers for the last spot of the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the West, and then we'll decide.
I think the Rams are the easy go-to.
Yeah, that's easy.
McVay's he's a guru. McVay has. I'll be honest with you. The Rams have a 2 to 3 year window to win it.
I agree.
And if they don't win in those 2 to 3 years, it's going to be blown up again in 2 to 3 years. And the reason why is you're paying too many guys, too much money, and they're going to be too broke to keep everyone happy.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
And so what's going to happen is if they don't win it in the next 2 to 3 years, if they win one, that's good.
Oh, they win. They win. They did exactly what they wanted to.
That's what you have to do. So they're putting all their marbles for this year, next year, mostly this year. They're saying mostly this year. They gave a lot of guys 1-year deals. So it's up to them this year to win that division.
I mean, I'm confident with you saying that they win the division.
But don't sleep on the Seahawks. I'm telling you right now, the Seahawks still have Bobby Wagner.
I want to sleep on the Seahawks.
Everyone wants
but at the
to sleep
same,
on them.
I'm not naive to their success, so I can't, necessarily. I think they finished second.
Are not beating the Seahawks this year.
Oh no! Yeah, that's clear. And it just comes down to what they do out of division.
And I know no one's gonna like to hear this, but the 49ers finished last in that division.
Oh yeah, I agree.
The Cardinals aren't as bad as everyone thinks. Healthy David Johnson. Josh Rosen's going to come in and compete. Josh Rosen's good. I don't care what it is. Josh Rosen can play. They lost a little bit on secondary, but I think Buda Baker's ready to step into what Matthew was. I think they might take second in that division. They could fight with the Seahawks.
Okay, so who's getting the last wildcard spot?
Last wildcard spot.
The Packers got one.
The last wildcard spot's going to go to the Falcons, in my opinion. You may say the Panthers, but I think it's the Falcons.
It's funny because we're pretty confident with the first 5 teams that make the playoffs in each conference. And that last wild card spot, we're kind of split, which is a fair assessment because you're gonna be a toss up. We're not gonna agree on our solid 6. So from this, these two have bye. Let's start with the FC. These two have bye. Let's say the Titans match up with the. Well, ideally they would be. Yeah, you're right.
I think Titans-Jags would play, and the Titans have the Jags number if I don't recall the last couple of years. Just saying.
Oh, that's for sure. But
So I'm gonna give me the Titans advance, just like they did last year. And then I think you got the Chargers-Raiders, and I think the Chargers win that. I think the Chargers win that, and then I think the Chargers beat the Titans, and I think the Chargers go to the Super Bowl.
well, the Chargers would play the Steelers, and the Pats would play the Titans. What happens there? Titans-Pats.
Same thing as last year.
Okay. Steelers, Chargers. You're saying Chargers?
Chargers win.
Okay.
And then
Pats,
Chargers beat the Pats.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the Chargers are for real.
Okay.
They're for real.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with everything up until the semifinals. When it gets past Titans, I'm going to go with Pats. When it gets to Steelers, Chargers, I'm going to go with Steelers.
Oh, okay. So you think Steelers, Pats?
Yeah, and Pats, Steelers from there.
It's tough. You always want to root for the firepower the Steelers have, but for some reason they can't put it together rightly.
Why is that?
They're just not good enough. Big Ben.
Well,
I
this
don't
is the
think
year
Big
they
Ben
are
is
good enough.
good
Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So then on the other side, this is going to be fun. So right now we're looking at what?
So it would be this time by it would be Rams against the worst team. Let's say Panthers or Falcons.
I think
Rams come out on top.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the Packers Saints.
And then Packers Saints. Ooh,
That
what a
is almost
matchup!
like a Super Bowl.
What a matchup, dude!
I'm going to go bold.
And I'm going to agree
The
and
Saints.
say the Packers. Oh, really? Okay. I don't think
the
that's bold for you to say the Saints.
I disagree, man. Anytime Aaron Rodgers is on the field, you can't root against the guy.
That's true.
He's got playoff
You're not
magic.
wrong about that.
Like these hands in the playoffs become a magic for that guy.
You're not
Give me
wrong
the Saints
about
there.
that. Man, the only thing is, though, listen to this.
Mark
We're
Ingram,
so
come
wrong.
on,
This is
bro.
how I feel. Pats, Steelers, Titans, Jags, and Chiefs, if they go, that's 5 of the same 6 teams that went last year. That's not happening.
I disagree.
Go over to the NFC. Eagles, Vikings, Saints, Rams, and let's say Falcons. Once again,
That's
5 of the
6.
same 6. That's not
Let's see.
happening.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
wrong
so-
somewhere.
Maybe. You might be right. You could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But I'm also going to sit here and tell you that the Eagles are going to regress. They came out of the middle of nowhere and we're good.
Okay,
last
well,
year.
let's
They're going to
say
get a lot of egos in that room.
let's say they do grab a first-round bye.
Okay.
And
the
we
Vikings
continue
grab them.
with our matchups.
So-
If you're thinking the Saints come out on top, they'll play the Eagles.
And I think the Saints beat them.
And you think the Saints beat them? Okay.
I don't think the Eagles' secondary is as good as it played last
So
year. And they're
Saints-
going to get picked apart by a very quality quarterback.
Okay.
They will not win the Super Bowl because they will get picked apart by a quality quarterback.
So get this.
Tom Brady played well enough to win last year.
Yeah.
Other players on the Patriots did not play well enough to win. And
I
if you
agree.
think that'll happen again, that won't. Bill Belichick does not let that happen 2 years in a row. I think we've looked at it in the past, and we've witnessed that guys come back ready to play. They were really young last year,
Yeah.
and they struggled deep in the playoffs because of the youth. That won't happen again. That will not happen again. So I think the Saints beat them.
Okay, so Saints come out on top. They're awaiting the winner of Vikings-Rams. What happens there?
Vikings, baby. I'm riding them. Dude, Kirk Cousins is going to bring them over the top. They should have won last
So
year.
the Rams do not do what they're intending with this 1-year stint.
Correct.
Maybe 2-year stint.
Correct.
I agree. I don't think so either.
I correct.
think that would be a massive
They have a lot of
prediction.
egos on one team. A lot of egos usually doesn't
Yeah.
work. Kind of like that dream team for the Eagles a couple years back, if you don't recall.
I forget, did the Rams, did they lose their first game in the playoffs this year?
I believe so.
The Falcons.
Yeah,
Did they win or beat the Falcons
I
at
don't-
home?
I don't recall.
In LA. I don't remember either.
But who you got from that?
Well, I mean, I have the Packers winning that first matchup
Yep.
and then consequently losing against the Eagles. But then I agree with the Vikings coming out, and I could see Vikings going to the Super Bowl.
I think it's Vikings Chargers, baby.
So I agree with the Vikings aspect of it. I would say Vikings Steelers.
Vikings
and-
Chargers. Let's go. Go Chargers this year. I think
man.
they're the team to beat. I really do.
So you're saying Chargers coming out top?
Yeah, who do you got to win it,
AFC
and then we'll
win.
go on.
I mean, between those two, if I am agreeing with the Chargers at that point, I would say Chargers.
I love it. I love it. We both picked the
It's
same Super Bowl
interesting
winner.
now, dude.
I don't think we can do that. That's like
No,
not
I mean, because
allowed.
I have Steelers Vikings. That's
I know.
the thing.
I know.
With my matchup though, I don't think the Steelers win the Super Bowl this year, so I'm gonna say Vikings.
Okay. Go all the way up. I love it. So there's our season predictions. I think
Yeah.
there's a couple bold predictions in there. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, there's a lot.
I think there's some things we might miss. But let's go into
Oh, for
something
sure.
that I think will be very helpful for the league. But let's go some position battles. And we're not
This is
going
gonna favor you. You have a lot more of in-depth knowledge.
We're
but I'm
gonna
gonna be
go
asking you some questions, obviously.
running back battles.
Yeah, these
for
are all backfields. What,
rookie
6
teams.
backfield battles?
For rookie running backs.
Yeah.
These are picks 2 through 7 in our league. There's
Right.
not going to be a receiver taken until pick 9, 10 in our fantasy league. It
Okay.
is all rookies.
So I want
running
to
backs,
start
running backs.
with the Lions. Give me a
You wanna
load on
start
the
with
Lions.
Lions?
I want to start with the Lions, yeah.
So they pick up LeGarrette Blount,
Yeah.
who does nothing but win Super Bowls.
So, yeah, okay, I agree.
So you
is
have
Amir
LeGarrette Blount?
behind him?
You have Amir Abdullah there. You have, and then the last player that I think is going to get the nod is going to be Kerryon Johnson, rookie from Auburn.
Yeah.
I think Kerryon Johnson's good enough to steal some touches.
I was just about to say, who gets more touches,
but I think
Amir or Kerryon?
I think Kerryon, and I think LeGarrette Blount's the guy.
Oh, for sure. I think
so. I think you're looking at a running back where I think LeGarrette Blount has a bounce back year, and I'm not saying bounce back is number 10. I'm saying he's bounce back has 8 touchdowns, runs for 600 yards, 700 yards.
Yeah.
And I think you could see Kerryon run for 504.
I hope so. Yeah.
500 yards, 4 touchdowns, and I think that's realistic for the Lions backfield.
Yeah.
What do you got for the Redskins backfield?
Well,
Samaje Perine, Fat Rob Kelly.
Oh, Rob, that's who I was forgetting.
And then we got Mr. Darius
Is Chris
Geis.
Thompson still there too?
And Chris Thompson's there.
My goodness.
So
Okay.
who
Who loses out? One of those 4 is off the team.
Samaje Perine.
Really?
Or Fat Rob Kelly. I mean,
I was
one of
thinking
those guys
Rob
are
Kelly.
done.
I was thinking
You know
Rob
what I mean?
Kelly.
One of those guys are done because you don't draft a guy who has first round talent. And Darius.
So
Geis.
let me ask you: does Geis get first snap?
Yes.
Okay.
Week 1, start 1. Darius Geis is too talented to not take over that backfield. He's better than Leonard Fournette.
Ooh, whoa, hot take.
He was better than him in college. He's better than him now.
See, we need to have a logo.
And I'm telling you
that
right now,
that
O line is good. Chris Thompson, the only thing that makes Darius Geis not as good in fantasy as Leonard Fournette is the fact that Chris Thompson's too good out of the backfield to catch the ball to not be in on 3rd downs.
Chris Thompson, we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're going.
So I think Darius.
So you're going Geis Thompson.
Geis Thompson,
and then whoever cares about the
sure,
other
I
two.
don't give a crap about the other.
Let's go here, just because I want to.
This is my favorite one.
I know.
I'm
That's why I wanted
I'm
to
going
do
to
it.
be different than everyone else here. I promise you that.
Oh,
Everyone
and
right
say
now
what?
is going
You
to say
gonna go
Nick
traditional?
Chubb. It's Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde didn't run that great last year behind a bad 49ers
Right.
line, but he's getting a good O-line in the Browns, and I think Carlos Hyde, when healthy, is quality. And
I was just about to say, I don't think we don't have a situation like we did with the Redskins with there just being no one for me to say, okay, yeah, guys, just take it over. So let's see what happens. I think it's still Hyde's battle to lose.
Plus, they paid him $40 or $40 million. It's not like they were like, oh, we're going to get you on a low cost.
No, yeah, it wasn't nothing. Yeah,
They said, let me go get him. He's
Right.
our guy.
For a reason,
And they're
yeah.
paying Nick Chubb no money to be a second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's Carlos Hyde's backfield.
Yeah, I agree.
And Carlos
I
Hyde
don't
can
see,
run that backfield.
I don't see
Don't get me
Chubb
wrong. Carlos Hyde
starting.
can win that backfield and be number 8 this year running back.
Man, that would be kind of cool. I would love to see a Browns back in the top 10. That would be cool.
What do you got for the Seahawks?
Other than Rashad Penny, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe
Chris
last
Carson?
podcast I couldn't even remember who they had
Chris Carson.
behind Chris Carson. What was that other guy?
I don't care. That's who we're looking at. That's the battle. That's the
Well,
battle.
I don't
Chris
think
Carson.
I don't think that's a battle. I think Rashad Penny comes out on top easily.
Okay, I agree.
I think he can be used many more ways. I think he's going to be used in pass game a lot. Russell Wilson's going to have a little bit more of a check down situation with Rashad Penny. I think Rashad Penny is an explosive player. Yeah. I think it's going to be Rashad Penny.
The
easy.
Seahawks is
That's
proved-
the easiest one out of the 6.
The
honestly, to me.
Seahawks have proved they know how to draft. If you draft a guy with
That's
Rashad
true.
Penny in the first round, he's gonna be used. That'll lead us into the next one too. The Pats backfield, same thing for Sonny Michel. That guy was explosive in college. I get it. I get all that. But you know what I also get? Bill Belichick knows how to draft, and if you draft a guy, they use him. If you look at all their first-round draft picks in the last 5 years, they were valuable.
It's funny,
and they used
yeah.
them. Malcolm Brown was a good defense tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, they just make use of their picks.
You know
Michel
how-
has a role in that offense.
You know how when you have a college player goes in the NFL, or while he's playing in college, you can already see him playing in the NFL, and vice versa. Sometimes you have players that go in the NFL, and you're like, hey, I didn't really see that. Sonny Michel gives me that vibe, and I don't think it's because of the player he is. I think it's because of where he is. I don't see him. I think of the type of player he is. I don't think it fits in well with the Pats. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be fantastic for his career.
He's Deion Lewis all over again. Except
Oh,
more
yeah.
talented. More
I
talented
agree.
than
I
Lewis.
think it's going to work in his favor. It's just I feel like he's the type of player that I don't know.
He could be a lead back somewhere, but instead,
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get at,
He's
yeah.
instead of getting 300 touches like some of these running backs get, only like 3 got him last year. Instead of getting 300 touches, he's going to get 180 and 40 out of the backfield, and he's going to be explosive and electric.
Yeah.
And he's going to be healthy all year, and that's the most important thing. I think he is the best.
healthy all year. Yeah.
I think Sonny Michel is going to be the number 1 running back in the Patriots backfield, with
I agree.
obviously 2 other guys like Rex Burkhead getting a lot of touches and James White and being helpful and successful in helping teams, running back 24 and
I would
28.
absolutely love to see Rex.
But
Burkhead.
Sonny Michel is going to be good.
Yeah.
If you thought Deion Lewis was good, get ready for Sonny Michel show, because that guy's more talented than Deion Lewis is.
I could see Rex Burkhead playing a lot of slot in terms of his out of the backfield play.
He's really weirdly athletic.
He is, right?
Yeah, okay, last one, Broncos backfield. Do you got Mr. Freeman or do you got Mr. Booker?
I got Mr. Booker just because I'm not high on Freeman. I don't really have a clear-cut reason. I don't know if what's going on in Denver right now in terms of there being a race. I don't know what the vibe is there. Is it a race? Is it solid?
I'm gonna say
is Freeman
this.
there to learn? I don't know if Booker's not the guy to learn from.
I agree.
You know, but
I'll say this.
go ahead.
Booker was the better college running back. And I watched Royce since freshman, and his best year was as a freshman, and he got worse as the time went on.
Yeah.
Booker was the better college
I'll tell you right
running
now,
back.
this is going to spark some conversation in the league.
I hope so. I'm a Duck fan. I love Royce. I thought Royce was. I've been on the guy who I would be honest with you. I'd say I thought our offense was better when Royce wasn't in the game. He doesn't run extremely hard. He's a big back who's not extremely fast, and he doesn't explode through guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't have physicality in his game, and he's big enough and slow enough that he has to have physicality in his game.
Right.
I want Booker.
Yeah.
If Booker stays healthy, Booker has shown he has explosiveness. He just can't hold on to the football.
Yeah.
And if you can't teach someone how to not fumble, then we need to find a new person to teach them how not to fumble. Because I remember AP having fumbling issues in college. And you know what they did? They taped the football around his arm, and they tweeted out to Oklahoma, and they said, please knock it out of his hand. You knock it out of his hands, we'll give you free tickets to the next week.
Did they do that, really?
Yeah, and you know what happened? Everyone on campus tried to punch that football out. And you know what happened? AP can't lose that football. Because you know what was going to happen? He was going to get in trouble.
That's true.
So you learn how not to fumble the football, you learn how to hold on to it, and they can teach Booker how not to fumble the football. It's not a hard thing to teach someone. They're an NFL running back. He's talented enough. So if he can stay somewhat healthy and he can learn how not to fumble, Booker's going to be good. That O-line's gotten better. So I think this leads into, we had a slight debate, so let's have some bigger debates.
What was our slight? Oh, you're talking about with just some of the running
just in
backs.
general. So let's go with,
you want to
with
start
that.
here? Let's lead here, yeah.
Sure. Who's better, Geis, Michelle, or Penny? Who's better this year, and who's better Dynasty?
Ooh, okay. I'm not going to lie. You sold me a little bit on Sonny Michel and just how he's going to work in with the Pats. I already expressed my concern with that. I already expressed how I think Rashard Penny might have been the easiest decision out of all of them.
Okay.
I don't think Penny being the easiest decision is going to immediately translate into his overall success versus everybody else. Maybe within the team, sure. Man, Michelle, better year this year, and Geis better year dynasty-wise. Better dynasty play.
I'm going to flip-flop.
You're going to choose the same team,
Geis
though.
has the best year this year because he has the best O-line and he's in the best situation to get the most touches. Michelle has the best year because he's going to stay healthy. He's going to be in New England for a while. And post Tom Brady, that team's going to become more run first team.
Yeah.
They're going to get a quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Bill Belichick will get another quarterback.
Oh,
whether it's a rookie or whether he goes sign someone for agency or whether he goes and trades for one.
that will happen.
He will get a quarterback that can play, but they're going to be a little bit more run first. And I'm telling you right now, Sonny Michel is perfect for that system and that offensive line. I'll take Sonny Michel.
So what you were saying, Michelle dynasty, Geis immediate?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he just gets so much love immediately.
Yeah.
So
You're going to go next here, or you want to go there?
So this is one that was brought to our league. We were going to go over Robbie Anderson or Devontae Parker now and dynasty-wise. So if we could go back in time.
Oh, we're going now
we
and dynasty?
So who do you got for now?
Whoa. I don't particularly like either of them, but I can't buy in on a Dolphins receiver. So I'm specifically going Robbie Anderson just because of who's throwing to him.
Are you going with Robbie Anderson now and dynasty? Because that's allowed.
No, I'm actually, man. No, and this is why. I think Robbie Anderson has a better now because of who's thrown to him now. I could see his value immediately declining. He's bouncing around from team to team. I could see Devontae Parker though, not having success right now because of where he's at, and him being able to find a team where he does fit in well, and he will have a better dynasty career.
I'm going to go bold.
And?
Devontae Parker on both.
Okay.
And the reason, the reason why I'm going to say that is Juice is gone. There's no one there to throw to except for Kenny Stills and Devontae Parker. Kenny Stills is not
Kenny Stills though.
No. Kenny Stills is good, but he's
Fire.
not. Kenny Stills is not a guy who catches 10 balls a game.
Oh no.
He catches 4 for
That's
80,
for sure.
and sometimes he gets on the touchdown. Devontae Parker's a guy that, if he can stay healthy, is a guy you can rely on to catch football. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic, and he runs good routes. Yes, he doesn't have a great quarterback. Ryan Tannehill was a guy that everyone loved 4 years ago. He got traded for OBJ early. We won't go there. We won't talk about that. But Devontae Parker's a guy who I think could be breakout worthy here. I'm only talking 800, 900 yards. And the reason why I'm going against Robbie Anderson is because that guy, he might not be able to play football here in 2 years.
Why? He's got some sort of concussion
Off the field issues are a must with that guy. He comes with just every issue possible. And plus, I'm not sold on Darnold, so I'm not sold on him having a long-term quarterback who can throw him the deep ball.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he has a long-term
But I think
quarterback
Robbie Anderson's a more talented receiver, and I'd like to see him do well. He's just an idiot. So now one that I think is fun. Is there an importance of defense and kickers in fantasy football?
We kind of touched on this when we were pulling up rankings right before we started the podcast.
We both agree. I'll say we both agree on one thing. Having a top-flight defense and a top-flight kicker is very
absolutely important.
Because in current situation, they score more points than the number 25 receiver and the number 18 running back. They're important, and they do drop off significantly.
You have a defense 7 and a kicker 7? No, not important.
No, that's not important. But if you have defense 1 and kicker 1, it is important, I promise you. Absolutely. It'll change every year. The Jags will not be defense 1 this year. No. I could put money on it. Yeah. The Jaguars might be defense 5 or 4 or 3, but defense changes every year. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, defense is extremely important. Especially in this league, I think that is something that this league hasn't realized, honestly, in its full potential.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the breakdowns of last season and midseason, whenever you're looking at defenses, if you don't have 1 or 2, you're checking the waiver wire. Do I need to pick up a different defense because this is working out for me? They can all just be interspersed, with the exception of
So are they important to? Are they important to the league?
Yeah, I don't. Man.
I'm gonna say
I think they're important because of what we just said, but I think if you got rid of them, you would have more consistency and fluidity within the league because of what we just said.
And I don't think it takes talent. And the reason why is I don't think it takes talent from an owner standpoint to find a defense to stream or a kicker to stream. I think what would be more talented is to find a position player to stream. I think picking up a guy, I think going to actual defensive players and only having 2 or 3, like a small amount of defensive players, would be harder and more important on a game by game basis.
I agree.
To discover who's the more talented.
I agree with it not taking much skill to have a defense that works for your team, but I think there's a little bit more skill involved when it comes to a kicker.
I don't disagree.
But yeah, I think you can get rid of him, and it would only make your league a little more consistent. I don't think it would take away at all from the league.
Okay, so on to the next. We're going back to it. It worked well last time. We are phoning in a friend.
What's up?
By default, with Jake being, away
Jesus
from phone,
Christ.
You, my friend, are on episode 3.
Hey, what's up?
How are you? You are clearly live.
What's up, Nick?
What's up, Jordan?
How are you doing, buddy?
Good. What's up? Hit me with some questions. I'm ready. I'm ready to kick some names and take some ass.
Oh my! You came in hot.
Off the top of your head, we had
off the top of your head. Yeah, we had some questions ready for one person and one person only. So your questions are going to be fun for you.
Oh God! All right.
How have the
Let's do this.
How have the last couple of weeks been for you? How do you feel like the turnaround of Man of Thiel has been?
Phenomenal. I mean, I feel like I'm a young NFL GM just starting to make his way through the ranks. I acquired a lot of young talent, and I've done everything, and I've checked every box that my team needed checked, and now I'm just sitting here enjoying the process.
How does it feel to have a quarterback who might get like a Byron Leftwich treatment and play so broken that his linemen have to carry him to the play?
I mean, yeah. So
is he going to put up numbers?
I'm high on luck, but honestly, having Goff as a second option helps.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a luxury. I'm not really high, on my quarterback position. I think I'm, bottom tier QB1. Okay. But I think with my big play receivers, I just need average play from that position.
So I was actually just going to bring that up. You actually have what I would consider the deepest receiving core in fantasy this year.
Thank you.
What do you think of their finish at? What do your guys finish at? We got Allen Robinson. What receiver is he this year?
I say Allen Robinson's ceiling wide receiver 8.
Okay.
His floor wide receiver, which as a wide receiver 2, that's what I need. Okay. I'll take that all day.
Okay, Michael Thomas?
Michael Thomas, ceiling, wide receiver 2, floor, wide receiver 7.
I like
really
it.
high on Mike Thomas. The one thing that I worry about with him is the touchdowns. Last year he put up some big numbers. He's kind of like a younger Julio in a sense where he gets a ton of targets in between the 20s, and then you get into the red zone and you give it to Ingram or you give it to Kamara, But if I could get, 6 to 8 touchdowns from him, I think he's wide receiver 3.
You know what I like about Michael Thomas? He never wins you a week, but he never hurts you during a week.
Yeah.
He's
consistently a double-digit guy, and he never goes over 20. And when he goes over 20, it's like, whoa, I just got some really good production.
Yeah.
He is the NFL's Draymond Green, glue guy.
Yeah. I'm just saying, in general, he does everything every week.
Based off his numbers, you can almost rely on him for at least 75, 80 yards a game.
Yep. He lives at the 11-point mark.
And it's like 14. The one thing that I like, if you look at the career of Breeze, he always has that connection with the receiver with Marquise Colston.
That's true.
He had it with Joe Horn. He had it with, and now he has it with Thomas, where it's like they're on the same brainwave. Like I was watching highlights of Thomas today, and it's just like there were plays where Breeze was just throwing it to a spot. Like you could tell it was just like he was just like, he'll catch it. Fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna huck it. And it's just impressive. Where the one thing though I will say on the flip side is Breeze, at any moment can go. Right. And if Breeze goes, we're in trouble here.
Yeah, I think Michael Thomas is very reliant on current situation. Mm. And then last question, we asked the same question prior to Colton. Who's your surprise good and your surprise bad team? Fantasy.
Surprise good team? I really like what Big Ron Clark's doing. I've been high on him all along. Okay. I really like that trade that we made the other day for him. It filled some holes. While I understand that maybe a couple guys in the league didn't like it, I think it filled holes for him. And with his big play receiver in Diggs, I don't think he's losing much, from Thomas in a sense where I think Diggs is that guy who could give you 30 points. Now, on the flip side, he will put a couple sixers up where it could kill you. As you were saying, he could win you a week, he could lose you a week. But I think with Ron's team, he's got consistent quarterback play. Running back to step up, and he's a top 4 team in my opinion.
If I would argue the same thing, I think if you see a Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, LeGarrette Blount having another big year, I think if you can get running back 2 numbers from a different running back, he's looking at a very high-quality team for sure.
And the good thing for him is he's got a high enough pick where he may be able to draft it again. I know a lot of people may be low on Kareem Hunt, and I get it. I'm one of those guys. But Hunt's going to get the volume in that offense where he's the only guy they have. He's going to get opportunities to run the ball in the goal line situation where he's going to be, a mid-tier RB2, which with his offense, I think that's okay for Ron's team. So I'm really, I'm really high on him, on Ron's team, not Hunt, but Ron's team. So, and then for the low team, I mean, it's tough just because expectations are super high, but I would go with Mike. And the only reason I say that is I think Mike's ceiling is the best team in the league. I think his floor is the 6th best team in the league. And the only reason I say that is he has a lot of question marks. Is Julio going to get hurt? Is Dalvin Cook the same player he was weeks 1 through 4? Those were what I'm saying is he has these question marks where if they all go wrong, and it can, does Gronk make it 16 games again? He has a lot of players where, holy shit, if 2 guys get hurt, I'm screwed.
I don't disagree. The one thing I'll say is Cam Newton is kind of almost an every other year guy. Quarterback 2 years last year. He could be quarterback 13 fantasy-wise. Todd Gurley, I think he's steady pat as one of the best running backs. I think Dalvin Cook, people forget, Dalvin Cook wasn't that great. Dalvin Cook was good. But Dalvin Cook showed times where he wasn't that elite, and he had a couple big plays where he was very good. Julio has injury issues. DeAndre Hopkins is definitely steady pat as one of the better receivers.
I mean, with his flex right now, I don't have a confident answer right
Cooper,
there.
Gronk and Cooper are both question marks, so I don't disagree with you.
And that's why Mike wins the league. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all because he's got a guy in Julio to go get 2 TDs on 180 yards. Like, he's got guys. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, who's the guy that could surprise people and have a rough year? It's him.
Yeah. Based
off of how many question marks he has on that team, and he doesn't have a lot of youth on that team. He really doesn't. And that's a situation where, I mean, come on, we've been predicting a Gronk injury for 4 years straight, and it's a good prediction to make.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost said he was going to retire because of him, so I wouldn't be shocked. But, Mr. Man of Thiel, I will see you on Fortnite later tonight. You have a great rest of your night. Thank you for hopping in.
Later, bud.
Stay classy. Later, Jordan.
All right. So let's move on.
I like that.
Quick and furious. We're trying to keep this one a little bit shorter than we have in the past. So let's go with our last 2 things we have on Vial. What do you
want to start with?
Who's a third round
steal? You can lead that one off.
So I'm going to be honest with you. There is no third round running back steal because there's no running back available in the third round anymore. They're all going to be gone in the first round with a couple trickled in the second.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a third round steal in our draft at all. I truly believe that. They're all gone. The first 8 picks in our league are going to be running backs. And then this is the people we have for free agency. I think a third round steal, this is going to sound stupid, as we have it, there's a couple defenses in there that will be a great pickup for a couple teams. Yeah. Honestly, that is the true statement. And then there's a couple other guys in here that could definitely help. I think Jermaine Kearse was receiver 28 last year. That's a great pickup for someone. Shocked he's not on a roster. The fact that he wasn't drafted in that league surprises me. It's not like he got worse at quarterback. He has the same quarterback, or Sam Darnold, who would technically be better if he got the starting job right. You also have Case Keenum available. Case Keenum just went to a better situation than what he had previously, I think, which shall be interesting. Yeah. You have Josh McCown, who was really good last year. But my fun ones, Mike Wallace went to Philly. Mike Wallace is going to be the Torrey Smith. Danny Amendola went to the Dolphins.
Question mark for me.
Both of those guys will be interesting. And then if you want to go some rookies, I think like Equanimous St. Brown. There's going to be.
I remember you mentioning
I don't want to say too many people because when you say too many guys, you kind of ruin plans. I'm not saying I'm not going to get into this draft or anything. I'm just currently there's definitely some room to work, but I mean, guys who Jalen Samuels, it looks like he's a young kid who could, take James Conner backup role to Le'Veon. Le'Veon, had injuries in the past. Maybe
Michael Gallup's the guy we talked about.
Ricky Seals-Jones, if he can stay out of trouble, showed flashes at being Arizona's tight end last year. There's a lot of people who, Luke Wilson's is the number 1 tight end now in Detroit. Yep. He could be good. They haven't had a really good tight end in a while. There are guys. There are definitely guys who could be good. Yep. I don't want to give up too much information on pick 3, but we'll settle it there.
No, it's good.
There's going to be one steal of the third round because there always is, no one's going to know who it is. Not even myself.
Agree.
Not Jordan. No one's going to know who it is. It's just going to kind of happen.
It's exciting though because I love that guy. I love learning who that guy is.
Devonta Freeman was that guy a couple years back. Like those guys happen. They really do. But now if Devonta Freeman was in this draft. And I'm not talking about like right this second. I'm talking when his rookie year, he pick 6 because we learned that you go rookie running backs, whether they're a 4th rounder or a 1st rounder, and then everyone else.
Yep.
It's kind of funny how that worked. We missed out on the rest of them.
Right.
So now we kind of
overcompensate. We don't
by
want to
going,
miss out. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't miss out on running backs, so you go with all running backs. And Alvin Kamara didn't help that situation last year.
I know.
David Johnson, 3 years ago, he didn't help the situation. There's guys who just haven't constantly been found later. So now we just go running back all the way through, and I think this is the first year you're going to see the first 8 picks minimum are all running backs.
Running backs, yeah.
And then the last thing we wanted to go over, kind of to wrap it up, let's go over the last week or so of trades.
And so, I think you said that there were a couple that I didn't even know about. I know about a few.
First one's mine.
Which
I received Devontae Adams, and I traded away pick 5, Jordy Nelson, Rashard Matthews, and Bilal Powell.
Love it.
What are you thinking?
Love it.
4?
You think 4?
Who are you loving it for?
Oh, for you, Devontae Adams.
Okay, I love Devontae Adams. You're really high on him. But what do you think about the other side?
What were the 2 picks that you just said that you traded away?
So pick 5.
Okay.
So pick 5, we're looking at I don't want to name too many names. We're not doing a mock draft, but you're looking at a Kerryon Johnson.
Right.
Maybe Sony Michel slips to there. Maybe Royce Freeman. There's a lot of running backs there because I think he's going running back.
Jordy Nelson, I don't really know. Is he going to be split too much? Is there too much, being dealt? Rashard Matthews, I would argue, is the best player out of those three that you gave up.
He's receiver 28 to 32 every year, and he's going to continue that.
Rashard?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
but obviously, you got a better receiver in Bilal Powell. I don't even care.
He's the third down back for the Jets. Yeah. We'll see. He had a good year 2 years ago. Had a bad year last year. He showed flashes. Well, we don't really know what we're getting out of Powell. Next goes Nick receives Aaron Rodgers and Sammy Watkins. Mike receives Amari Cooper and pick 30.
Yeah, Nick won the crap out of that trade.
I also agree.
I'm not big on Amari Cooper, so.
I'm not Amari Cooper's biggest fan.
Who was it after Aaron? Oh, Sammy.
I'm going to be real.
Oh, my God. He won the dude. Yeah,
pick 30's nothing.
I'm going Sammy, Amari, straight. Nick won. And then Aaron for a pick.
Okay.
You just won by 1,000.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
We won't go too in deep. Okay. Nick trades Stephon Diggs and pick 38 for pick 2. Pick 2's Darius Geis, I want to say, is going to be it. If you hit on Darius Geis.
And Nick has pick 1.
Yep. So he traded away Darius Geis and got Stephon Diggs.
So Nick wins again.
You think Nick wins? See, I opposite.
Check that again. Who was the second thing?
Pick 2 for Stephon Diggs and pick 38. I personally think Darius Geis is good enough to be better than Stephon Diggs in our league.
Stephon Diggs or
Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs.
Oh, you're talking about
Geis is better than Stephon Diggs, and that's what the main trade was. And running backs are more valuable, so therefore
running backs are more valuable. Yeah, I just love Diggs though. So
I do like it. I do. So far Nick's killing.
He's killing it, dude. He was right when we called him.
Okay, 3-way. We all love those.
Oh, whoa! What's going on?
Tom receives Jimmy Graham and Tyler Eifert, tight end heavy.
Okay.
Tate receives pick 7 and Ben Watson. Colton receives Andy Dalton and pick 27. So not based off of who's giving up and who's getting anything. Okay. Who do you like the most out of that? Who?
Pick 7, Ben Watson, Andy Dalton, pick 12. Oh, I let Tom went too hard. Almost it seems like he gets two tight ends at the beginning of this threesome. I was like, I don't. Okay, and then but with the second two, he wins that out easy. Tyler Eifert, I'm not big on. We know what he can do. Apparently, when Andy Dalton and him are on the same page and he's not injured. I'm not big on him in the future though. But Jimmy Graham paired with him, he's got himself covered in terms of the tight end spot. So.
I think Jimmy Graham could have either a huge year or a really bad year.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has never been. Let me use you, Richard Rodgers, but he's also never had Jimmy Graham.
Who goes pick 7? Who gets picked with pick 7?
Pick 7's like a Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, I still go Tom.
Running back. It all matters who gets that, but I think.
But Kerryon Johnson could be,
picks are hard to say. In all of these trades, these picks are so important. Even pick 30. Like, let's say you hit and you get a Devonta Freeman at pick 30. Now all of a sudden,
anybody could have won that.
You know what I mean?
Immediately in my gut, I have to say Tom.
You say Tom? I say Tom as well. Jason receives AJ Green, Alex Collins, and Mike's 2019 first in exchange for Dalvin Cook.
AJ Green,
Alex Collins, and a future one that is supposed to be a pretty bad one for Dalvin Cook.
Well, this can go two ways. If Dalvin Cook lives up to what everybody thinks he can be, dynasty-wise, whoever got, I don't even know who you said, Mike wins.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other guy? Jason? I think, though, in the short term, I'm not big on Alex Collins. I don't, and I'm not exactly familiar with his roster. I don't know how he's going to fit in there. AJ Green, I'm not big on either, but AJ Green's still going to be a quality fantasy production.
So what I'll say is Alex Collins was RB18 last year, and Dalvin Cook was RB4 in the first 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I am not high on Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook's running back 12, 13.
Yeah, I'm not either.
So I think Jason wins big.
Jason wins, yeah.
Because I think Jason moves down 5 to 6 slots for the same year of running back and picks up a top 15 receiver play and picks up a one that maybe could turn to something. Mm-hmm. I just want to say there that I think Jason wins. Yeah. I think it's a gamble that people take for running backs in this league, and it could pan out. If Dalvin Cook's running back 4, it panned out.
Exactly. For sure.
But if he's not a top 10 running back play, it did not pan out, and Jason won that trade big. Yeah. So there's a lot to be determined on that trade front.
Which is fun. I love that.
That's the makings of good trade.
Yeah.
A little risk, a little reward.
Yeah.
So the next one is Tate receives pick 12 and a future one for Marvin Jones.
Ooh, a future.
So we're trading on Marvin Jones being receiver 9 last year, hoping he can come back and do
And
something
this is
well.
depending on where Cody finishes this year.
Cody's supposed to finish high. Keyword is supposed to. I say supposed to because no one ever really knows what happens. This is the roster we're looking at. Marvin Jones is looking like a solid flex play, maybe a receiver 2.
I mean, looking at the numbers right now, if Marvin Jones has another year like he had last year, Cody wins. It's easy. Let's say Marvin Jones finishes the year receiver 16, and Tate, I don't know who he's getting with pick 12, but let's say Cody doesn't finish well and he gets something good out of that first pick, or trades it away and does something better with it, then that goes to Tate. Toss up. I think if Marvin Jones produces like he did last year, Cody wins. That's easy.
Okay. I think if he produces like last year, I think if Marvin Jones is a top 20 receiver, Cody wins.
Oh, you want all at
For
20?
this year, and the reason why is because at pick 12, if you got a receiver who finished in the top 20,
for sure this year he wins,
you'd be
almost
right.
guaranteed.
But a one
yeah.
next year, depending on what you can do with both those picks, that might change that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with a trade on either end. I'm just saying for this year alone, Marvin Jones is much better to have than those two picks.
Yeah.
However, depending on obviously what we do with those picks, that could change.
Yeah.
I believe this is a little bit of a trade. You know, the first trade for Jake.
Yeah.
If you may so. He
You
lost his
wanted to go
virginity.
here?
Yeah, he lost his virginity on
Go
this
ahead.
trade. No,
Go ahead.
I'm not going to say it. It's silly. It's goofy. I don't want to say it. I'm not there yet.
Right.
He traded pick 14. He received
got
pick
it, yeah.
14 and 33 for the man he selected about 7th round in this expansion draft, Mr. Trey Bird.
It's phenomenal.
Who do you think wins?
I think Jake wins easy.
Okay.
At the same time,
I'm high on Burton this year, but I also think he won the trade.
Exactly. He's the guy that's coming in the league with a whatever you want to call it, injured team, botched team. You know,
if he's tight end 10, and that's a win for you traded for tight end 10 on pick 14, but pick 14 could be so much more.
And he's doing what he needs to right now. Trey Burton doesn't do crap for him right now. Sweet, you know? He's doing what he needs to. He's getting picks.
And the other thing I will say is that, so there was a couple more trades after this, so I'll go over more, but I think we both agree Jake wins that trade.
Yeah.
I also made a trade. Aaron Rodgers has been moved again. So I traded Andrew Luck and Allen Robinson and Cardinals defense for Aaron Rodgers, a 1 next year, and Vikings defense.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I remember when you were originally talking about it, I wanted you to do it just because I wanted to see. Aaron Rodgers leaves the team, even Andrew Luck leaves the team. That's phenomenal. That's entertaining right there. But after looking at Nick's team, I don't know. Obviously, this makes your team better. Okay, you have Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady now. That's obvious. But I think this also benefits Nick, and he was talking about having Goff and Luck. While he's not high on the position in general, having Luck and Goff at the same time gives him a little bit of ease.
I'll say this.
Throwing Allen Robinson in with that, I think you guys both won.
These are the trades I like the league to see.
Yeah.
And the reason why what I say about that is there's no clear winner, there's no clear loser.
Yeah.
It was a good trade on both sides. I think it allowed me to make my window this year go from, a 60% win chance to like an 80. I really honestly think it bumped it up to I think I have a great chance to win this year.
It bumped you up in the short term for sure.
I think it doesn't hurt me terribly long term considering I got a 1. It hurt my depth losing A-Rob, but Nick is also a guy who if he hits on A-Rob, if A-Rob
that's
is
the thing.
receiver
A little bit
8
more
this year,
risk
or
on
receiver
Nick's side
15 this year.
But
that's
if
a
he
big
gets
deal.
the combo of Robinson doing well and Luck doing
if Luck
what we
is quarterback
expect,
7 and Robinson's receiver 15, he killed this deal. And I know I lost this deal. I would argue that I lost this deal from day one, but I lost this deal to win it this year.
and who knows? I was going to say, who knows?
If I win it
If
this year,
one
it
of
was
you
worth it.
two win, that person won the trade. If neither of you win,
We don't know.
toss up still.
If I win this year,
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
won.
look at that trade and I'm going to say, hey, I won that
was
trade. I won it this year. I
won
did
it,
what I
yeah.
needed to do. However, I don't think it hurt me long term.
I don't either.
Because I got a 1 out of it, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is done after this year.
Neither.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Last trade was another one by Jake. Real quick, real simple, and then this will wrap it up. I believe Jake traded pick 14
Okay.
and his second next year
Okay.
for pick 9 this year and the other person's second next year.
Okay, so he went
So
up this
move
year.
up
He went
5
back a
slots
little bit
to
in the
maybe
second
go
round
back
next year. Yeah.
move back.
Good. I like it.
I love it because I think the difference between 14 and 9 this year is a starting caliber
big.
player in
It's
your
big, yeah,
roster.
yeah.
And I'll be real, I don't think Jake finishes last this year.
Do you
Because
think
I
he
think
finishes?
he got Alex Smith, and I think Alex Smith is still a top 8 play. And I think at pick 9, he's going to be able to get a guy who can actually slot in and probably play some weeks if he can pick right. And depending on who's more intelligent on the waiver wire this year, and I'm not saying between two people. I mean, I'm on the waiver wire this year. I have 6 spots. There's a lot of people who have spots available. With the new expansion. So who's good on the waiver wire and stuff can really change some things. I think it's good betting on yourself a little early.
Yeah.
I don't think the second round next year's that deep. I think moving up in the first is what matters in a 16-team league. I mean, at worst, Jake's pick is 17 next year.
I like the.
And I would trade 14 and 17 for 9 and 26.
Oh, easily, yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
no-brainer.
So
Yeah.
I think Jake wins that trade.
I like the activity from Jake too, being the new guy in the league.
He's making some bold moves quick.
Yeah.
So with that said, it was
about
a
it,
great
guys.
episode, podcast number 3.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. We did not have one last week. I got a little uprising in the league. We will make sure to be more on top of it. We didn't think there was enough content. But every week we look at it and we look at the time. This was an hour and 5 minutes.
I think this is a little bit more succinct.
This was short, but it didn't take us a long time to study for it. I think this is definitely something that when we look in the mirror and say, man, we could definitely make an hour of content. We shouldn't have a lapse in a week again. I think that was.
Oh no, I cannot even.
I think we surprised ourselves this week with how little has gone on.
Right.
We can make stuff happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't even talk about one huge trade in our league, and we won't go there because it's so fresh that there's still so much more. We can talk about it next week.
Okay. Yeah.
But just in general. I think we learned that we don't need a whole lot of content.
We're gonna have the game on Thursday
to
to talk about too. We're gonna have football. We're gonna have football that happened this year to talk about next year. Yes.
Baby. We got football next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hyped up. I'm gonna have
thrilled for
Red
that,
Bull in
yeah.
my system. I'm gonna have chips and salsa in my system. I'm
Dude,
gonna
that
be
is
good
gonna be
to
sweet,
go.
yeah.
Thursday night, I know what I'm doing. I'm watching preseason football. There's nothing I'm more excited about than football for a while.
Fun, dude.
Like it's happening. It's
Finally,
back.
dude.
Enjoy preseason football on Thursday. Enjoy this podcast and love you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.